Vanakkam. Educate and raise the masses. Thus alone a nation is possible. Swami Vivekananda. Good afternoon and a very warm welcome to all of you. My name is Ranjini Prakash. I'm a volunteer with Shraddha Maanu Foundation, referred to as SMF. My co-host for the afternoon today is Mr. Shankar Raghavan, Head Operations SMF. We are going to be the MC for today's ceremony. We take great pleasure in inviting all of you for the graduation ceremony of Upasana trainees, batches 3 to 5. Let's begin our ceremony by seeking divine blessings. May I invite Kumari Ananya Chandrasekhar to deliver the invocation song, and may I request all of you to please stand up.
தாமரை பூவில் இருப்பாள் வீணை செய்யும் ஒலியில் இருப்பாள் வெள்ளை தாமரை பூவில் இருப்பாள் வீணை செய்யும் ஒலியில் இருப்பாள் உள்ளதாம் பொருள் தேடி உணர்ந்தேன் உள்ளதாம் பொருள் தேடி உணர்ந்தேன் ஓதும் வேதத்தின் ஒளின்று ஒளிர்வாய் கள்ளமற்ற முனிவர்கள் கூறும் கருணை வாசகதூட்பொருளாவாள் கள்ளமற்ற முனிவர்கள் கூறும் கருணை வாசகதூட்பொருளாவாள் வெள்ளை தாமரை பூவில் இருப்பாள் வீணை செய்யும் ஒலியில் இருப்பாள்
Before we begin, may I request all of you to please put your mobiles on silent or turn them off if possible. Thank you. So now can I request Srimati Sri Lalita Gopal Srinivasan, Srimati Akila Ramasubramanian and Srimati Aparna Krishnan to light the lamp and formally inaugurate. So, now that we're here for the graduation, what does Shraddha Maanu Foundation do? Shankar, can you please share a few words?
Vanakkam. My name is Shankar Raghavan. Roughly about 5 years back, one fine morning, Srimati Madhumati Narayanan, fondly called as Madhu, our founder CEO, found Ramya, her domestic help, reading an English newspaper while she was cleaning the newspaper rack. Madhu was amused and told Ramya that there's grandfather's Tamil newspaper available to read. Ramya looked up and told Madhu that she's a postgraduate and can read English. This curiosity of Madhu to understand why Ramya did not pursue a job after her studies led to the birth of SMF and Upasana. Madhu will elaborate more about this in her presentation. Inviting Srimati Meena Chidambaram, Head Academics to present the welcome note. Thank you.
Vanakkam, I'm Meena Chidambaram. I head academics at Shraddha Maanu Foundation. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all for this Upasana Convocation. I'm just looking back at the journey. It all started way back in 2019 in the park benches of Jiva Park and Sharma Park when me and Madhu used to sit and figure out what do we do. There's this set of women who are looking for opportunities to use their time wisely and also earn some money. And then there are children, on the other hand, where they need a lot of guidance and support. So we were trying to work out a plan, and that was what Upasana, the program for the teachers, the women. And Vipassana is the program that we have for the primary school children. So once we worked out these plans, the task looked very daunting. And then we realized it's not just the two of us, we need a lot more hands, more mind share, more money to get this done. And that's when Madhu reminded, it's her favorite quote from Paulo Coelho. She said, if you really want something, the universe will conspire and make it happen. And true to that quote. And we just went ahead with the plans, and the universe did conspire, and it did make it happen. And I'm seeing a slice of that universe in front of me, you all, who've been supporting us throughout. I take great pleasure in welcoming our guests of honor, Srimati Sri Lalita Gopal Srinivasan and Major Madan Kumar. I would also like to welcome our mentors, Sri Raghunathan and Sri Vasudevan, who are with us today and who have always been guiding us throughout, and our donors who have been supporting us all through. The head of schools are here, some of them. They have shown great faith in us and has given us a lot of confidence. And then our well-wishers and volunteers who have always extended their helping hand whenever we needed them. We have Ranjini here, one of them who's taking the MC here. Yeah. I also welcome the press who have always been supporting and featuring our work as needed. And then my team. The core team, the Upasana teachers, the Upasana graduates, the teachers from MYC, the Vipassana teachers who have graduated earlier. All of them have stuck with us in the highs and lows of this journey. And finally, a hearty welcome to the stars of this evening, the women who are graduating. Some of them are here in person, and there are a lot who have joined on Zoom for us, and there are a few who couldn't make it, There's this wave of cold and fever going on. So this is your evening, so thank you all for joining us. And this journey has not been an easy one, but then it's been immensely satisfying for me, and I'm happy to welcome you all to join us in this celebration of this journey. Thank you.
Thank you, Meena. Now we invite Srimati Madhumati Narayanan, founder and CEO of Shraddha Maanu Foundation, to make a presentation about her journey.
Vanakkam, Namaste, and a very warm good evening to all of you, dignitaries, corporates, well-wishers, press, our own Shraddha family, and the heroines of today's evening, the Upasana graduates. Education is not just about acquiring knowledge. It's about building character, developing a strong mind, and expanding the intellect. At Shraddha Maanu Foundation, our core beliefs have been as follows. 1. Nation building is everyone's duty, and all of us have to do our bit. Every child is unique and innately intelligent. For the underprivileged children, their environment at home is not very conducive, and hence they need a lot of after-school support. Education is not just about scoring marks. It's about building character, resilience, empathy, patriotism, and respect. As much as the intellect needs to be honed, so also the emotional, psychological, physical, and social skills need to be worked on. In Dr. Kalam's words, children have to turn to becoming active participants from being passive learners in class. And we need to work with children in their impressionable age. 5 to 10 years, that's the time when any kind of a lasting impact can happen, with any kind of a learning that goes into them. And hence it's very important to build character. It's very important to work on FLN, Foundational Literacy and Numeracy. The Sustainable Developmental Goals of UN and UNDP, SDG 4.1, proposes to ensure that by 2030, all girls and boys complete free, equitable, and quality primary and secondary education, leading to relevant and effective learning outcomes. And we at Shraddha Maanu Foundation, we work towards achieving this in a very small way. In fact, in a recent ASER report, they have actually studied children in class 3, and we see that 8.7% cannot recognize numbers 1 to 9, okay, which is very sad. And 14.2% of them cannot read alphabets, letters. So we decided to work with children from the underprivileged segment through our after-school program called Vipasana, focusing on foundational literacy, numeracy, value education, and patriotism. Our teachers are graduate women from the marginalized sections whose aspirations are to have economic independence and respect. These are women who are predominantly housewives who have never gone for a job before and cannot take up full-time jobs. So, our model is to train these women through a robust teacher training program based on multiple intelligence and deploy them in schools near their houses. Today, we have 43 of such women graduating amidst a lot of hardship and pressure, who have kept a single-minded focus on becoming after-school educators. These are women who believe in the India story. These are women who are proud that they are also working towards nation building. Congratulations to each and every one of you who have struggled through this journey. And this room has majority, at least here we see more women than men, if not in the workforce. Yeah? As women, we understand that every delivery is very painful, right? It comes with a lot of turmoil and pain. But all of that is forgotten when you hold the baby in your hand. It's exactly the same feeling that we have every time a batch passes out. All the struggle the team goes through, especially during COVID. We did have a lot of issues, and I should say a big thanks to the Shraddha family. The teachers, the trainers, the operations team, the accounts team, and everybody who stood during COVID times. And every batch has been really, really challenging. And it came with its own unique bundle of problems. If we, it was always like a balloon. We press one side, the other side will, there will be a problem. We fix the connectivity issue, there will be a mother-in-law who will say, it's enough, you don't have to study now. Take care of the kid. So it's always been a problem like that. Now, a huge shout out to the Shraddha Maanu team for being resilient and unwavering in building resilient livelihoods in women. I just wanted to share a small thought with our women here. நிறைய பேரை நான் நேரம் கூட பார்த்ததில்லை, இல்லை ஆன்லைனில் தான் பார்த்துருக்கோம். ஸோ ஒரு சின்ன கதை சொல்லலான்னு ஐ டிசைடட். ஒரு ஊரில் ஒரு பண்டிதர் ஒருத்தர் இருந்தாராம். அந்த பண்டிதரை அந்த ஊரில் ஒரு திருவிழா வந்தது. ஸோ அந்த பண்டிதரை பேசுகிறதுக்கு கூப்பிட்டுருந்தாங்களாம். ஸோ ஹி கேம் அண்ட் ஹி ஸ்டார்டட் ஸ்பீக்கிங். அவர் பேச ஆரம்பிக்கும் போது மழை, ஜோன்னு மழை. ஸோ எல்லோரும் எழுந்து போயிட்டாங்க. ஆப்வியஸ்லி மழை பெஞ்சால் யார் உட்காந்துருப்பா, எல்லோரும் எழுந்து போயிட்டாங்க. ஆனால் ஒரே ஒருத்தர் மட்டும் அங்கே உட்காந்துருந்தாராம். ஸோ இந்த பண்டிதர் கேட்டாரா, என்னப்பா நீ மட்டும் போகாமல் இங்கேயே உட்காந்துருக்க, நீ ஏன் போகல, ஏன் இங்கேயே இருக்கேன்னு. ஸோ அவன் சொன்னான், ரொம்ப நேரம் யோசிச்சுட்டு ஹி செட், இல்லை நான் ஒரு யோசனை பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கேன். என்னப்பா யோசனை பண்ணுற அப்படின்னு கேட்டோன்னே, சார் நான் ஒரு குடியானம் ஐயா, எனக்கு வந்து எங்கள் ஐயா எனக்கு சில விஷயங்கள் சொல்லி கொடுத்துருக்காரு. அதில் ஒரு விஷயத்த நான் யோசிச்சுருந்தேன். என்ன யோசித்தேன் அப்படின்னோடனே எங்கள் ஐயா சொல்லியிருக்காரு, என்னோட கொட்டிலில் காலையில் மாடெல்லாம், ஐ மீன் யூ கான் அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் தமிழ் ஐ நோ, பட் யா, ஸோ என்னோட கொட்டிலேருந்து மாடெல்லாம் வந்து 100 மாடு வெளியில் போகும். ஆனால் சாயங்காலம் என்னோடய வேலை அதுக்கெல்லாம் சாப்பாடு வைக்கிறது. ஸோ சில சமயம் 10 மாடு திரும்பி வந்திருக்கும், சில சமயம் 20 மாடு திரும்பி வந்திருக்கும், சில சமயம் 100 மாடு திரும்பி வந்திருக்கும், சில சமயம் ஒரே ஒரு மாடு தான் வந்திருக்கும். ஆனால் கூட என்னோடய வேலை சாப்பாடு பண்ணுறது, அதனால நான் சாப்பாடு வச்சுருவேன் அந்த ஒரு மாடு இருந்தால் கூட அப்படின்னு சொல்லி சொன்னாராம். உடனே அந்த பண்டிதருக்கு நம்மளுக்கு தான் இவன் ஒரு மெசேஜ் கொடுக்குறான் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு, சரி நீ உட்காரு நான் பேசுகிறேன்னு சொல்லி அந்த ஒரே ஒரு ஆளை உட்காத்தி வச்சு அவர் வந்து சூப்பராக பேசினாராம். 2 hours நான் ஸ்டாப்பாக பேசினாராம். தேங்க்யூ மிஸ்டர் குமரவேல் ஃபார் ஜாயினிங் அஸ். ப்ளீஸ் கம் டு த ஃப்ரண்ட். வாங்க சார், ப்ளீஸ் கம். ஸோ அந்த மாதிரி சொன்னாராம். அப்புறம் 2 மணி நேரம் பேசி முடித்தார். பேசி முடித்த உடனே, என்னப்பா இப்போ சந்தோஷமா பாரு, இத்தனை பேர் இல்லைன்னா கூட உனக்கு ஒருத்தனுக்காக நான் இவ்வளோ நேரம் பேசினேன் பாரு அப்படின்னு. அவர் வந்து அப்பவும் அந்த குடியானவன் அப்படியே யோசிச்சுட்டே இருந்தானா, என்னப்பா இவ்வளோ யோசிக்கிறேன், நான் தான் உனக்காக தானே இவ்வளோ நேரம் பேசினேன். இல்லை எங்கள் ஐயா இன்னொரு விஷயமும் சொல்லுவார், அதை தான் யோசிச்சுருந்தேன்னு சொன்னாராம். அது என்னப்பா விஷயம் அப்படின்னோன்னு, டெய்லி வந்து நிறைய இலை தழெல்லாம் இன்னும் எடுத்துன்னு வருவேன் நான். எடுத்துன்னு வந்ததுக்கப்புறம் ஒரே ஒரு விஷயம் சொல்லியிருக்கார், 100 பேருக்கு போடுறத 100 மாட்டுக்கு போடுறத ஒரு மாட்டுக்கு போடக்கூடாது, 100 மாட்டுக்கு போடுறத அப்படின்னு வந்து சொன்னாராம். ஏன்னா ஒருத்தன் வந்து மாட்டினா ஒன்றே இல்லை. ஸோ த பாயிண்ட் இஸ், ஐம் ஜஸ்ட் ட்ரைங் டு டெல் யூ த சேம் திங் ஹியர். As teachers, okay, we need children come from various social economic background. நம்மக்கிட்ட வர குழந்தைங்கள்லாம் அப்படி தான் இல்லையா? ஸோ நம்ம வந்து அந்த குழந்தைக்கு என்ன வேணும், என்ன பேக்ரவுண்ட், என்ன கொடுத்தா புரியும், எப்படி கொடுத்தா புரியும், that is extremely important, and that's why we do our lesson plans, we make you do demos, we make you do all of that, just to ensure that whatever you are saying is reaching the child, right? So that is a small message that I wanted to give you. We'll continue to do that. And can we have the lights off? We'll just have a small video before we move on.
எனக்கு வந்து யாரும் இல்லை, நானும் குழந்தையும் தான். எனக்கு சொல்லி கொடுக்கவோ மற்றபடி படிக்க வைக்கவோ ஃபீஸ் கட்டவோ எங்கள் வீட்டில் அந்த அளவுக்கு வசதியெலாம் எதுவுமே கிடையாது. ஸோ அதனால் நான் வந்து நானும் படிக்காமல் இருந்து என் குழந்தைய நல்லா படிக்க வைக்கணுன்றது தான் என்னோட ஒரு குறிக்கோள்.
But the marginalized sections of our society have bright and aspiring young minds, many of whom are first-generation learners who lack a support system at home. Life has not given them opportunities, so we at Shraddha Maanu started looking for ways to enable these children.
At Shraddha Maanu Foundation, our vision is to mainstream the marginalized through innovative education practices. Our focus has been to work with women and children from the underprivileged sections. And we've been focusing completely on after-school education because we believe that the school system is doing its best, but then children from this kind of a background, they need a lot of support and hand-holding after school.
Our solution is to create happy and effective classrooms through our Upasana after-school program. Upasana is based on the multiple intelligence methodology, which believes that every child is innately intelligent but intelligent in different ways. Our focus is on foundational literacy and numeracy for primary school students in classes 1 to 5.
The whole idea of running these after-school centers is to ensure that these children become holistic individuals, which means they need to become socially responsible citizens of this country. And hence, we also do sessions on value education.
But we needed teachers who are passionate and capable, teachers who can deliver multiple intelligence-based lessons in our hyperlocal centers, teachers who can empathize with children from marginalized backgrounds. Where would we find our teachers? We realized that the answer to this lies in the question itself. The very same marginalized communities have several graduate women, wives of daily wage workers like painters, carpenters, and rickshaw drivers. These women aspire to build a respectable career for themselves and are passionate about making a difference in their localities. Our dipstick study revealed these aspirations as well as the socio-economic factors that were holding these women back.
Can we turn these women to become after-school educators? So that way it solves an issue of getting good educators who are passionate, empathetic, who understand these children from this background. And can we also get these women to to be trained so that they become resilient. They spend a couple of hours every day working with these children, and they're also able to make money. So we run a program called Upasana, which is a 150-hour robust program.
Our Upasana program is designed with multiple objectives. One is to build a pipeline of quality educators for after-school support of children. Two is to equip women with a skill for a sustainable livelihood. Three is to improve the learning outcomes of primary school children. Four is to build an engaged community of women, children and their families where they come together and connect for mutual partnership.
Women, after they complete their Upasana training program, have got two options. Option one is they can become a teacher in any of our Upasana micro centers. The second option that they have is they can become an edupreneur, wherein they can become tuition teachers from their own residence.
Our vision is to impact the life of 5,000 children by about 2025 and also build resilient livelihoods for about 500 women.
இவங்க மூலியமா நான் இப்போ நல்ல ஒரு வேலையில் இருக்கேன். நானும் ஒரு டீச்சராக ஒர்க் பண்ணுறேன். இப்போ நானும் சம்பாதிக்கிறேன். இப்போ எங்கள் வீட்டுக்காரர் என்னை மதிக்காமல் கொஞ்சம் இதுவாக இருந்தவர் இன்றைக்கி அவரே பரவாயில்ல நீ படித்த படிப்பு வீணாக போகாமல் 4 குழந்தைகளுக்கு சொல்லித்தர, அதே போல் இந்த சமுதாயத்துலேயும் உனக்கு ஒரு அந்தஸ்து கிடைச்சிருக்குன்னு சொல்லிட்டு அவரும் என்னை பெருமையாக நினைக்கிறாரு.
இந்தமாரி அமுச்சு விட்டதில் என் பொண்ணு ரொம்ப நல்லா இப்போது எழுதுறதுலையோ படிக்கிறதுலையோ நல்லா பண்ணுறா. அதே மாதிரி இந்த விளையாட்டு எல்லா விளையாட்டுலேயும் கூட சேர்த்து 2-3 வாட்டி ப்ரைஸ் எல்லாம் வாங்கினேன் என் பொண்ணு.
நான் டாக்டர் ஆக போகிறேன், எல்லாரையும் காப்பாற்ற போகிறேன். படித்து பெரிய ஆளாகி கலெக்டர் ஆகணும்னு ரொம்ப பிடிக்கும். நான் போலீஸ் ஆக போகிறேன். டீச்சர் ஆகி பசங்களுக்கு
We started with 2 children in 1 center, and today we are a 36 center organization with over 732 children with us. We've been able to add this in spite of COVID. 2 years we really had a problem, but in the last year we've been able to do this. And our eyes are set at 1,500 to 2,000 children in the coming year, which is 23-24. And I would like to thank every one of you here who has supported us morally, financially, and in every other way. Right from the day we started, there's been support. We are a 4-year-old toddler trying to walking with somebody's help. But I'm confident that with all your continued support, we will be able to walk steadily, pick up speed, probably run and then pick up speed and run faster towards achieving our mission 2025. அன்னசத்திரம் 1000 வைத்தல் ஆலயம் 10000 நாட்டல் பின்னருள்ள தர்மங்கள் யாவும் பெயர் விளங்கி ஒளிர நிறுத்தல் அன்னையாவிலும் புண்ணியம் கோடி ஆங்கோர் ஏழைக்கு எழுத்தறிவித்தல். Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Another good round of applause for her and us, all of us who are part of it. Thank you so much, Madhu. So, Shankar, how many graduates are receiving their certificates today?
43, Ranjani. We can see some of them on the Zoom. And in fact, many of them are from very small towns and villages in Tamil Nadu. In fact, in some places, there are connectivity issues. As a result, some of them couldn't join us today. The only good thing COVID did was it gave technology a big boost. Video conferencing using Zoom, Gmeet, and using WhatsApp video calls for your chat with friends and relatives across the globe. And guess what? It was instrumental in helping us here in SMF build resilience by making Upasana accessible to women, not only in Chennai, but in other districts of Tamil Nadu too.
That's wonderful. That's a commendable thing, isn't it? We've been able to reach out to so many in spite all the odds that have been thrown.
Yes, Ranjani. Upasana started as a classroom program here in Chennai when we began. While the pandemic brought the world to a standstill, and many non-profits were struggling to survive, we too had to survive to take a cause to the women who could benefit from Upasana. But at the same time, we had to think about how this program could reach the many hundreds of women graduates in Tamil Nadu who earned to attain self-sufficiency without disturbing their family life. It also had to be robust, rigorous, and effective as an in-classroom program.
Yeah, I concur with you. Technology has certainly enabled collaboration in real time. Let's.
Now we begin our convocations ceremony. We would like to invite our guests of honors onto the dais. Srimati Sri Lalita Gopala Srinivasan, who is an engineering graduate in computer science from Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. She is the managing director of TVS Electronics Limited, a company that specializes in manufacturing of transaction automation products and servicing computer peripherals and other electronic products. She is known for her strategic thinking, strong business acumen, and drives organizational change. She provides active direction support to the TVS Electronics in CSR initiatives to promote culture, education, and healthcare for school children, women empowerment, and environment. Ma'am, request you to come to the stage.
Sri C.K. Kumarvel, who believes that the future belongs to those who believe in beauty of their own dreams. Sri Kumarvel and Srimati Veena started the natural salons in the year 2000 with the simple belief of getting Veena self-employed and making 60,000 a month. But when they saw a bigger opportunity in the year 2005, they started franchising the business, and the rest is history. Today, Naturals are the #1 salon chain in India with 707 salons, 400 plus financially independent women entrepreneurs, and providing 12,000 direct jobs. The couple now pursues an ambitious dream of making Naturals as the #1 salon chain of the world by 31st December 2029. Major Madan Kumar is an alumnus of OTA and XLRI. The hats that he wears includes entrepreneurship, logistic professional, corporate guest lecturer, geopolitical analyst, and a coach and mentor to students in SCM and defense aspirants. Major Madan Kumar, who is a soldier by mindset, for whom it is always nation first, is also a co-founder of Armor of Care, which is a group of selfless volunteers comprising of ex-defense officers, doctors, and young civilians. Their mission started from 2015 Chennai floods and have been doing yeoman service till COVID-19. I now request Srimati Deepa Lakshmi, who is a graduate from Upasana's maiden batch and now a center head at Chennai Middle School, Dharmapuram, to give a memento to Srimati Sri Lalita Gopal Srinivasan. Ma'am, may I now request you to address the audience.
Very good evening to all, and to all the honored guests, to Madhumati and the participants. I'd like to start by congratulating the graduates who are present today, to see the passion, the commitment, and the dedication. You could just feel it in the atmosphere. While Madhu spoke so eloquently about all the children, I think today is a celebration of the women who are going to shape these future diamonds. The one thread which goes through my mind as I looked at it, a young girl, actually when Madhu invited me to speak and come here and invited for the function, I spent some time understanding what the organization was, and then I requested one of my young girls in the organization to come and understand the work that this foundation is doing. And she came back and said, "Ma'am, the one thing that that occurs to me as to what they're doing is the word resilience." It was a very interesting thing she came back with it, because Madhu had actually requested me to say, can you talk about resilience? Because resilience is such an important character, not only for men, but especially for women. I think we see resilience in everything that this team has done. I mean, whether it's going through COVID or coming up with an opportunity of identifying young minds which need help, finding the most important resource of who's going to train these young minds. It's other than the men, women in their lives, teachers play the maximum role. I mean, if you notice, the most time that a child spends outside a house, or even more than a house, is in a school. And so a teacher is probably even more important as parents. That's why they say, they worship everybody, from your parents to your guru. It's all the equal footage. So I think resilience, and then I asked this young girl, I said, tell me what resilience means to you. Why don't you go find out and come back and tell me what resilience means? Because resilience means different things to different people, and I was just very curious to understand what she found out. So she came back and she gave me the following, and this is not to my credit, but completely to the credit of my young girl. Her name is Lata, from my organization, who put this together for me. And I just share some of the thoughts that she has come up with. And I start with a quote that she says is attributed to Swami Vivekananda. And I think you started with a quote from Swamiji either. So what it says is, and this is only with respect to women. I am not going to be talking about children at all today. Our right of interference with women is limited entirely to giving education. It's a very powerful sentence. Women must be put in a position to solve their own problems in their own way. No one can or ought to do this for them. I think there's a very important message which I see being echoed in the way of work Shraddha Maanu is doing, is that you are empowering women to work in their fields, in their locations, to solve the problem which they themselves face at home and the children in their localities face in a particular way. But what you're doing is you're training them to do it in a structured manner. Nothing can be done without training. I have realized one thing, that anything that comes easily, anything that comes naturally, has a lot of effort behind it. You cannot do something easily, naturally, other than eat, sleep, and do your other things for the day without training. And from that angle, I think the fact that you've taken up Upasana for training teachers to take care of what you rightly put is the future of the nation is a fabulous, very good initiative, and I congratulate, and I hope that this not only stops, and I think, Madhu, why take a small target as 1,500 students? It should be much more. It should be lakhs of students across, and this is something that you can light lamps. Once you light lamps and each one lights 5 others, this can spread like wildfire, and that's what you should aim for. This is a small beginning, but I hope it's like a giant leap which happens for the future. Just a few things about what resilience means to various people. Resilience is a mindset, range of attitudes, behaviors. It reflects in the daily decisions we take. I mean, from a simple decision of what to cook in the house. That's probably the most difficult of decisions that you face, isn't it? Because no matter what you cook, somebody in the house is unhappy. And on a day when your children, your husband, your in-laws, and everybody else is happy, you're unhappy because you have cooked something which you don't like and they all like. So resilience starts from there. So for that reason, you don't stop cooking, you don't give up, you make more efforts, you make better efforts. And in today's world, with all the YouTube videos and everything at your disposal, experimentation continues. Good or bad, resilience starts from there. every woman, every man has to face a lot of risks and obstacles to get through life, every day. Simple things, I don't have to give you examples. It requires resilience for you to continue. I don't think any one of us here will come back and say, why should I get up tomorrow? It doesn't even occur to us. It's just, you just go through life and you do much more. And in the cases of this entire audience, there is also the fact that you're working at home, you're working outside, you're managing multiple things, not to denigrate the work of people who are only at home because they have even more problems. I absolutely salute homemakers because homemakers have absolutely no excuse of going anywhere. They're always at home. Whereas people like us who work, we go in the morning, we come back in the night, doesn't matter what happens, at least those 8 hours, we don't know what's happening. Then we come back and deal with whatever happens. So everybody has to go through tons of obstacles, risks that you face. In today's world, risks have really increased. So resilience is absolutely critical in small things that you do. But at the end of it, as Madhu rightly put it, it's like holding the baby in your hands. The result of what you do, after all, you do it for people you like, people you're fond of, whether you're doing service, whether you're doing at home, everything is a service. The result of it is always sweet. So I would celebrate womanhood. I think, and it's a pet peeve of mine, March 8th is International Women's Day. And everybody very brightly walks up to me and wishes to me. And I'm like, why do you have to remind me of being a woman just on that one day? It's like, you don't go and remind a man you're a man on that one day. We're all doing our jobs. We don't need to be reminded who we are and celebrated. I think every day, every moment has to be a celebration of everybody. It's not just a woman. It's not just a man, of humanity. I think it's a human resilience, human endeavor that really keeps us going, and that is what needs to be celebrated. And I'm hoping Shraddha Maanu will do a lot more of that in the years to come. They have put a small seed. Resilience starts with, where does resilience come from? It can't just come out of thin air. Right? The first thing that resilience needs is a purpose. Without a purpose, and that purpose has to be higher than you. Anything which is selfish, I'm not sure it's resilience, it's something else. So resilience starts with needing to have a purpose, a higher purpose. And that purpose can only come out of your house, doing something for others, beyond you, me, mine, and myself. It has to go beyond the house. That gives the first need for resilience. Next thing people say commonly is resilience is self-awareness. But I think self-awareness is completely incomplete without judgment. If you're unable to judge the awareness that you have and do something about it, you can't be resilient. So I feel that the second thing that you need to be for resilience is having good judgment. The third and fourth thing are fearlessness and elasticity. When you're resilient, you need to take bold decisions. You need to stand in the face of difficult either decisions, tasks. Just because you're resilient, people come and say, no, shouldn't we adjust? Shouldn't we do something? Shouldn't we do that? It takes a lot of courage, a lot of fearlessness to keep going and doing what you're doing. I'm sure the kind of issues and the kind of things that you guys have faced, it's quite a lot. I think you must somebody must start writing a book on all that you faced on the journey. It would be really nice to read it on one of these occasions. Finally, resilience also means the ability to adapt. If you're really resilient and you don't have the ability to adapt, you will break. And breaking is not a good idea. So I think this is what resilience in my opinion means. This also came as a sort of request from or suggestions from this young team which I have, which said, why don't you speak about this? The last thing they said this, which is what they wanted me to share with you, is people who have a strong learning orientation which means a focus on learning when in a competitive situation, and a growth mindset meaning a belief that people can grow, develop and change, tend to be more resilient to setbacks and mistakes. And the advice was that if it helps you think and build yourself to where like this, then you should build it into your future. With this, I wish each one of you the very best in life, especially the graduates and the team which is helping the graduates and more graduates to come into the world. Look forward to seeing more successful women. Successful women are not necessarily the one who are celebrated on podiums or stages. Every woman who produces 2 good children or 1 good child is a successful woman, in my opinion. So, congratulations to all of you. All the very best to the venture. Thank you and Jai Hind.
Thank you very much, ma'am. That was very interesting. Now I request Srimati Jayachitra, who too is a graduate from Upasana first batch and working as a senior teacher at Chennai Middle School, Dharmapuram, to give a memento to Sri C.K. Kumaravel. Request Sri C.K. Kumaravel to address the audience.
It's a pleasure to be a part of this wonderful group, and special honor to listen to Mrs. Sri Lalita, my friend Gopal Srinivasan's wife, Madhumati, my friends on the dais and off the dais, the graduating students and the teachers. Education is the gift that keeps on giving. And once there was a king who called his minister, and he asked him to assemble a list of people who are contributing the most. The ministers went around the country and assembled few of the people. First was a doctor who cured most of when people were ill, and he was taking care of them so that people could live a healthy life. And that was the first. And king asked, who is he? And the ministers explained, this is what he has done. He has treated so many patients and so many people. He is the best doctor of the country. The next one was a sportsman. And the minister explained, he is a sportsman, excelled in the sport, enthralled everyone and gave us the confidence. And people were so in awe with his ability to excel in his chosen field. The next one was a businessman. And he explained how he is trading and how he is doing business and how he is doing various things. And the next one was an actor, the artist. And the minister explained what is his chosen field and how he or she is performing and to that level. And the last one was a very white-haired, very old woman. And she came in and the king asked, who is she? And the minister told, you have seen all the people, other people, king, and this is their teacher. And the king came down the throne. The king came down the throne to honor the teacher. The society that respects the teacher and women alone can prosper. Unfortunately, we have a lot of legway in both the areas. Tamil Nadu is one of the pioneering states in the country, especially in education. There was once a chief minister called Kamaraj, who sowed the seeds of education in this state. He opened 26,000 primary schools. And when he opened the school, the children were not coming to the school. And he asked them why. They said they don't have food. And that is when he started the midday meal scheme. Unfortunately, today the politicians have extended it as a barter for votes. But anyway, there is some way that poor are getting fed by that in the process. My friend Dr. Velumani of Thyrocare puts it so eloquently. He said, I went to school with one hand slate and another hand plate. It is such, the iconic measures what Kamaraj thought. I have a very favorite way of putting together. A heart of an NGO and the reach of a government and an efficiency of an entrepreneur combined together alone can create miracles. A heart of an NGO, a heart of an NGO, a reach of a government, and then efficiency of an entrepreneur. Otherwise, each one in its isolation is doing a very tiny impact. I think that's when it has to come together. Kamaraj had the heart of an NGO. He had the reach of the government. And he had the efficient officers at that point of time. Combined together is what has created the education revolution in this state. Today I was very happy to see that in the screen, one of the women talking about how her husband is now recognizing that your education is now coming into use and now you are making money to the family, and her respect in the family has gone up. I think women needs to become more ambitious and dream bigger dreams. Women are not here to play a secondary role to the men. For your own sake and for the sake of the country, the young women needs to become more ambitious, and they should look at, so many women have done extremely well. Use them as a role model. Start making your own money. Excel in your field. Only when men see women financially successful will they respect women. I think India may have got independence in 1947. Indians have not. Especially Indians women don't have financial independence. One of my mission in life is to create financial independence to Indian women. The off story I have repeated in quite a few forums. It happened when I opened my 8th salon. It happened in Coimbatore, first salon outside Chennai. I used to go there every month and support my franchise partner to set up the salon. And one day he introduced me to an elderly woman and he said, this is the family who used to come and spend 5,000 rupees every month way back in the 2006-07. I said, thank you very much for your patronage. And she told that, sir, I am coming from Karur every month and I come twice a month to Coimbatore only for naturals. Why not you open a salon in Karur? I said, ma'am, I have just now opened in Coimbatore. Let me do a market survey and then decide whether to open or not. But she was not in a willing to wait mode. She saw one place and she called me over to Karur and she said, come and see the place. I went to Karur and saw the place. I liked the place. I said, ma'am, place is good. She said, come over to my home. I walked into her house. There was a BMW on the left-hand side and a Mercedes-Benz on the right-hand side and few more small cars. I told myself, why is this family wanting to open a natural salon? Anyway, I went inside and met her husband and 2 sons, 2 daughter-in-laws. I told myself 30 lakh loss also will not affect this family. Chalo, let us open. I opened the salon and 1 year later, she called me and she said, thank you. I asked her for what? She said, this month I have made 50,000 rupees profit. I said, it's good, ma'am. Unknowingly, I said, you can make up to 2 lakhs. And I added one line. I said, it will be very useful for you. And she said, sir, I don't have any money problem. My house at any point of time will have 10 lakhs in cash, jewelry and document extra. But for any money I spend, I need to give accounts to my husband and to my 2 sons. This is my money. I can spend the way in which I want. I said, you have made my day. The best fashion statement. The best fashion statement is standing on your own legs. I think making these children, giving them the education and making them, stand on their own legs. And so many educated women who are not knowing to channelize their potential and their energy and their talent, giving them a scope for that is a wonderful beginning by SMF. But as my previous speaker spoke about, I think 5,000 or 1,500 number you have is a very, very good beginning. I don't want to say it as a small beginning, but I think it's a good beginning. But I think all of us have the responsibility to join together and make sure that every person in the world is educated and the education is converted to financial independence. Wishing you all the best together. Together, let us build a beautiful India. Thank you and best wishes.
Thank you, sir, for your wonderful speech. Although now I'm worried. Two people are telling that we should increase the numbers. So I'm getting a little bit jittery now. So what we are going to do, we have trustees sitting here and yeah, that'll be good. That'll be great. Okay, moving ahead. I request Srimati Gayatri Velmurugan, who's a graduate from Upasana's second batch and now a centred at Tyagaraya Nagar Primary School, to give a memento to Major Madan Kumar. Request Major Madan Kumar to address the audience.
Good evening, Jai Hind, everyone. First of all, I thank the foundation, the founder, and the entire team out here, and the batch of graduates. There are two COVID batches, right, ma'am, if I'm right. So there are two COVID batches, and the elite chief guest we have. So they shared their experience, starting from Lalitha ma'am. And what actually we missed out, the gentleman who spoke just prior to me, the most and the worst hit business during COVID was the beauty industry, the parlor. It's no jokes. I'm a small entrepreneur with some big ambitions. So it's really the pain, the amount of pain none of us could actually ever imagine. And thanks to you, sir, to re-get the business back again. And it's going to be a growth story of India. To start with, so in the batch we have been empowering the teachers. So here the caption says, where I was just thinking, I don't believe in empowering women. Women are already powerful. They need not to be empowered. What is right there is rekindling the hope. You know, there is a point of saturation once you get married, settled in, kids coming in, and then the life fits into a pattern. Then the children grow up, and then their education, their higher education, and then their job, their marriage, their children, and then one day the life ends. So somehow all the successful women whom we are seeing in front of us today have taken a small diversion from this. They are good mothers, they are good parents, like any one of us, but they have taken a detour and they have chosen a path which is very, very less chosen. So that is where I'm not a person qualified enough to advise you, but I would say, please push yourself and take the detour. I'll just give you a very 3-minute short story, and how many of you would have known this woman called Tessie Thomas? Most of you would not be aware of who she is. Okay. She was born in 1963 in a remote village of Alappi district, Kerala. Born with 4 sisters and 2 brothers, if I'm right. And just next to her home, there was a launch facility, rocket launch facility, a disbanded one. This days it's not operational. So every day she used to see those rockets going in. I'm talking about 63. Today's generation is different. You know, women also need to study, need to go for graduation, and so on. But those days, with 3 other sisters at home, you know what is the kind of pressure they would have. She lost her father at the age of 12. In the sense, not lost, he got paralyzed and he was very badly. He was not able to work and make a living for the family. The mother took on the load. She got on. And then she joined a school nearby, graduated with the top score in the district. Later on, she joined the Government Engineering College of Thrissur. She took a loan of 100 rupee from SBI as an education loan, and then came out with flying colors in her engineering degree. Later on, went on to do her MTech in armament technology from Pune. Those days, it is unimaginable just for a woman to go on a graduation, that too in engineering, go to a hostel, and then from there go to some place called Pune. This is just not imaginable at those point of time. Even today we have restrictions at home that don't send the girl outside the city or outside the state. What will happen to her safety, security, and so on. So there was this mother who stood rock solid, with this child, and then her three sisters also did extremely well. Two of them engineers and one became the MBA. And in somewhere in 2000. Later she joined the DRDO, one of the pioneering organization, the government organization in terms of defense research. She was handpicked by Bharat Ratna Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam to be the program director for Agni Missile 3, 3000 kilometer range. And 3 months before, the same woman, Bessie Thomas, who's 60 now, she's a program director of Agni 5. This missile, a nation is safe. I'm just giving a security point of view. A nation is safe with the kind of missiles it has, right? It's a strategic, a very, very strategic missile for India's security. All of us are quite safe here is because of this particular missile, because this missile, Agni 5, can pretty much reach anywhere in China. Our number one advisory. This was purely led by Tessie Thomas, ma'am. Why am I saying this is, there is no limits. There is just no limits. In my life, I was fortunate enough to speak to her for 2 minutes. I just asked her only one thing, ma'am, forget about my introduction. I just need you to tell me one thing, which can I convey it to the people whom I, interact with. One thing which can change my life. She said, see, where this entire thing of missile engineering is totally has to be visualized. You have to imagine everything. Like there's a video which was happening where, taking a piece of paper, a skeleton, and teaching a kid what is head and what is toe and what is the elbow and joint, rather than making a child lying down and then marking, and then I saw that beautiful video coming up. So here at least you have a two-dimensional object in front of you where you can visualize. But a missile which has to go to the stratosphere at a speed which is just unimaginable, and then it has to go and hit a target in your enemy state with an accuracy of 150 meters. It's no jokes. She just told me one thing. See, that rocket launch pad next to my home was the catalyst. Everything needs a stimulant. For success, you always need a stimulant. So please identify your stimulant. Something has to stimulate you. Maybe one of the guest speakers out here, maybe ma'am out here, maybe this organization out here, maybe your kid, maybe anybody in your life, you need to have a stimulant. And then second thing she told me is like when in Agni 4, when we decided, okay, Agni 4 has to be announced to the country with a range of 4,000 kilometers and above. We said the Agni's limit. So as a program director, she said all her scientists who are highly qualified, don't use a word called limit. Just don't use a word called limit, because absolutely there is no limit for a human being, especially for women. Why I took her story is this entire narration of woman empowerment. I don't believe in this. It's a feminist theory which was imported from the Western world. I don't believe in this. As ma'am said, 8th of March, it's International Women's Day. Present them roses, make them come and speak on a dais, celebrate them, and 9th of March, you again get back into something else. This is a pagan world's import. Today, we are standing in a place where women contribute to 18% of our GDP. And a prime minister speaks about, $10 trillion economy, and then we got to reach a place of a second largest economy in the 100th years of independence, which is 2047. If this has to happen, 50% more women, which is currently at 27%, it has to somewhere reach 47 and 50%. Otherwise, this will just remain a dream. It is impossible by any economical means, by any statistical method. This is impossible. 10% more women coming into work, coming into business, coming in, becoming a teacher, becoming an entrepreneur, becoming a job seeker or a provider will add to $173 billion of economy to India. This is the reality. So if the male society which dominates today has to, the political class and the business class put together, if we need to achieve the dream of India being the number second economy in the world or number 3 economy in the world, which is realistic, without women's participation, it is impossible. So it is a necessity for the nation. It is not a choice. There is nothing, again I am repeating for the 4th time, there is nothing called women empowerment. They are the most empowered people. We need them in politics. We need them in policy making. We need them in decision making. We need them in defense. We need them in aerospace. We need them as teachers. We need them as mentors. We need them as gurus. And we need them as our goddess. This is what I don't have certain, I have my own political affiliations and views. That's a quite different thing. One woman who still remembered in the history of Tamil Nadu politics, whenever something goes wrong, you always say that this woman should have been there. And the more, you know who says it more, it's always the male. So please come forward, because your coaching, your teaching and mentoring is not only about producing graduates. It's not only about educating children. It is about making them take right decisions in life. It is about making them part of this beautiful nation called Bharat. It is about making them take right political decisions. This is a critical thing, because by 2030, 50% of our population will be less than 30. Sorry, 55% of our population will be less than 30. If we don't educate them with the right moral, with the right foundation of this country called Bharat, then we are going to lose it big time. So you all have a great responsibility. You all have a real job to do ahead in the next coming 25 years to 30 years. So this the so-called celebration of women becoming a fighter pilot or women becoming a marine commando. Yesterday, one of my junior, she is the first parachute commando of the Indian Army, the Special Forces. 1 out of 15 lakh men has the probability to become a Special Forces commando. It is the tough. Just imagine this, nobody forces you to become a Special Forces commando. I had my military service. I never had the guts to go and volunteer for the Special Forces, even though my physical fitness and mental agility was very, very high. A woman today has made it. They serve from Siachen to Kashmir to Kanyakumari, underwater and over the sea. So there's absolutely nothing called woman has done this, woman has done this. It is just the system has matured today, so that we don't get jealous of it, or we don't restrict them to do it. We have another country, which is Afghanistan, which is the 168th poorest country in the world. The one important economic parameter is if they would have allowed their women to work even at home, a very small cottage industry kind of a thing, the country would be pulled out of poverty. They would have at least one full nourishing meal a day. But those idiots decided to go into some medieval law, which put the woman back in their this thing. You should wear this. You should hide yourself and this. So we are a progressing nation. Our mindset has to change. I request all the men out here in the in this beautiful hall to think differently. There is nothing called women equality. They are born equal. They are much more than any other man in any job, be it battlefield. I have served with women officers in Kashmir, in peak of the battle. There are a lot of time where, like I myself personally feel that one area we need to improve is lack of focus, get diverted. Women are too good in it. So I take a bow in front of all of you for taking this detour, like what ma'am had done, taking this detour, coming into an online form of education, learning how to empower a kid, and going back to the society and going to give what you are. There's 5,000 or 50,000. I would say, ma'am, there is actually no limit. That's what Tessie Thomas ma'am told me. So I'm conveying it to all of you. Wish you all a very, very good luck, and wish you all the best and all the success in your life. Thank you, Jai Hind.
Thank you, Major, for that thought-provoking speech. So now we'll move on to the graduation ceremony. We request Major Madan Kumar to hand over the first set of certificates to our graduates. Request the graduates to line up here, please.
First person is K.A. Ambika. Second person is C. Iler. Request the graduates to just stand next. Next is S.R. Lakshmi. Next, Bhagavad Gita S. Next, Kavita Rani M.
May I request Shri Kumaravel sir to give the next set.
K. Padmasini. Can we have more decibel of applauses, please? Thank you. Next, Subha Balakrishnan.
Yes, folks, please a little more, few more claps. We have high tea after the event, so if you're not refreshed, just think of that.
Sugandha Nagarajan. Uma Ram. G. Tarakeshwari. Jyoti Chaitanya Ejagari.
Ma'am, can we have you give the next set, please? Thank you.
Alma Sibin. Malarvari Jayaraman. N. Kalaivani. Shanti D. Sunita Oja S. And Sunita Partsarthi.
For all the Upasana graduates who could not make it today, we'll courier your certificates to you. Can we have a round of applause to all of them on screen as well? Time to capture these moments. Can we have the graduates? We'd like a photograph with all the chief. Thank you so much. Can I have the core team SMF on stage, please?
Upasana graduates, Srimati Kalaivani from Batch 5, to share her journey in Upasana with all of us.
Good evening all. I am Kalaivani. I am one of the 5th batch student and I am going to share my experience. Okay. நான் MBA கம்ப்ளீட் பண்ணிட்டேன். என்னால் ஃபுல் டைமாக ஜாப் சர்ச் பண்ணி என்னால் போக முடியாத ஒரு சுச்சுவேஷனில் இருந்தேன். ஏன்னா எனக்கு ஒரு குட்டி குழந்தை இருந்ததுனால அவளை விட்டுட்டு போகிற மாதிரி என்னால் ஜாப் பார்க்க முடியல. ஸோ அப்போ பார்ட் டைமாக எதாவது ஒர்க் பண்ணலாமா அப்படி சொல்லி சர்ச் பண்ணும்போது சோஷியல் மீடியாவில் நான் ஷரத்தா மானு ஃபவுண்டேஷன் டீச்சர் ட்ரைனிங் ப்ரோக்ராம் நான் பார்த்தேன். ஸோ அதில் அப்ளை பண்ணி ஆன் ஜாப் ட்ரைனிங், நெக்ஸ்ட்டு வந்து ஃபஸ்ட்டு ஆன்லைன் ட்ரைனிங், நெக்ஸ்ட்டு ஆன் ஜாப் ட்ரைனிங் சொல்லிவிட்டு 2 ட்ரைனிங்ஸ் கம்ப்ளீட் பண்ணிவிட்டு ஆன்லைன் ட்ரைனிங்கில் என்ன சொல்லி கொடுத்தாங்க அப்படின்னா மல்டிபிள் இன்டெலிஜென்ஸ், நெக்ஸ்ட் மெத்தடாலஜி, இது ரெண்டுத்தையும் எப்படி பேஸ் பண்ணி ஸ்டூடெண்ட் கிட்ட வந்து எப்படி ஆக்டிவிட்டி மூலிமா, ஸோ கிரேட் 2 அப்படின்னா அவங்களுக்கு எப்படி ஆக்டிவிட்டி நம்ம ப்ரொசீட் பண்ணலாம், ஸோ கிரேட் 5 அப்படின்னமோ அவங்களுக்கு எந்த மாதிரி ஆக்டிவிட்டி பேஸ் பண்ணி அவங்களுக்கு எப்படி அவங்களோட சிலபஸை வந்து ஈஸியாக அப்சர்வ் பண்ண முடியும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு நான் டீச்சிங்கில் நல்லா அப்சர்வ் பண்ணேன். நெக்ஸ்ட்டு ஆன் ஜாப் ட்ரைனிங் அப்படின்னா அது வந்து ஸ்கூல்லே போய் நம்ம லேர்ன் பண்ணோம், எல்லாமே பார்ட் டைம் தான். நெக்ஸ்ட்டு வந்து அது கற்றுக்கும் போது நான் தேரியாக கற்றுக்கிட்டு எப்படி அதை ப்ராக்டிக்கலாக எப்படி ஸ்டூடெண்ட் கிட்ட அப்ரோச் பண்ணோம் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு பார்க்கும்போது எனக்கு அந்த ட்ரைனிங்லேயே பசங்கக்கிட்ட நிறைய டிஃப்ரென்ஸ் தெரிஞ்சுது. ஸோ நம்ம இந்த மெத்தடாலஜி, இந்த ஆக்டிவிட்டி இதெல்லாம் வந்து மல்டிபிள் இன்டெலிஜென்ஸில் இவ்வளோ இருக்கா, இது மூலிமா நம்ம இவ்வளோ ஆக்டிவிட்டீஸ்னால் பசங்கக்கிட்ட ரீச் பண்ண முடியுமா அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு எனக்கு 50% எனக்கு அதில் எனக்கு பயங்கர ஒரு கான்ஃபிடென்ட் இருந்தது. ஸோ அங்கே ஆன் ஜாப் ட்ரைனிங் முடிச்சதுக்கப்புறமா சிடி நாயகம் ஸ்கூலில் நவ் ஐ எம் ஒன் ஆஃப் த டீச்சர். ஸோ இப்போ நான் என்னால் முடிஞ்ச ஏர்னிங்ஸும் பண்ணிகிட்ருக்கேன். ஸோ நான் இப்போது என் ஃபேமிலியை சப்போர்ட்டும் பண்ணுறேன். ஸோ நான் இப்போ என் பாப்பாவையும் பார்த்துக்கிறேன், என்னால் ஃபினான்ஷியலாகவும் சப்போர்ட் பண்ண முடியுது. ஸோ எனக்கு வந்து என்னோடய ஏர்னிங்ஸ் அப்படின்றத விட எனக்கு என்னோடய ஜாப் வந்து சாட்டிஸ்ஃபைடாக இருக்குது அப்படின்றத தான் நான் இங்கே சொல்லணும்னு ரொம்ப ஃபீல் பண்ணுறேன். இப்போது இந்த இடத்துல எனக்கு சப்போர்ட் பண்ண ஓல் ஷரத்தா மானு ஃபவுண்டேஷன் டீமுக்கோ என்னோட கோ டீச்சர்ஸ் எல்லாருக்குமே நான் ரொம்ப ஹார்ட்டபிள் தேங்க் பண்ணிக்கிறேன். தேங்க்யூ ஸோ மச் ஃபார் கிவிங் மீ திஸ் பொசிஷன் டு மீ அண்ட் தேங்க்யூ ஸோ மச் ஃபார் வண்டர்ஃபுல் ட்ரைனிங் கிவன் டு மீ. தேங்க்யூ ஸோ மச். ஜெய் ஹிந்த்.
Thank you, Kalaivani. Now, I would like to give the names of people who are on the Zoom with us, who have joined us but they couldn't come here physically. Jayashri R. Can you all give a big round of applause for them also, please? Kritika Manigandan, J. Bhagyalakshmi, S. Gautami, Shakila Mohan, Hema, and Vidya Lakshmi S. Thank you for being there.
If the poor boy cannot come to education, education must go to him. Who else but Swami Vivekananda? So how did we go about this? As a note of gratitude, we'd like to present mementos to people who have supported SMF. We invite Sri Vasudevan Sir, Trustee SMF, to honor the first set of individuals. Sri Raghunandan Nagarajan, who goes beyond being a donor, helping with strategizing and mentoring the foundation. Shri Sundaraman Krishnamurthy, who has supported us during the pandemic. Shri Shri Vijayaraghavan SV, who has been supporting us through his contributions. Thank you, sir. Srimati Akila Ramasubramaniam. So during the first year of our operations, money was trickling in from only family and friends. Ma'am came in, breathed a new life for the foundation. We are grateful, ma'am. Thank you. Srimati Gayatri Shankar, who has been kind enough to support our foundation, but she's, yeah, okay. Vedamurthy, Senior Member Representative, MYC, for partnering us and training our teachers and kids. Veeraraghavan, who has been very kind and benevolent in his support to our foundation. He could not join us today due to unavoidable circumstances.
Now we would like to invite a few schools who have partnered with us in our Vipassana program. Request Srimati Madhumati to honor them. Gangapuram, represented by Srimati Leela, HM of the school. Please mention, special mention about the school is during the COVID pandemic, with the help of the school, we reached out to the children to ensure continuity in their learning. Shishya Nursery and Primary School, Kodambakam, represented by Srimati Raji, School in Charge. Tyagaraya Nagar Primary School, represented by Srimati Mahalakshmi, Principal of the school. Two more schools whose representative could not make it, but we need to share the names. Vilivakam Panchayat Union Middle School, Nolambur, and Panchayat Union Primary School, Om Shakti Nagar, Ramnathapuram. Due to unavoidable circumstances, the representative could not attend. Thank you, Madhu.
Can we please have Sri Ramesh Nagarajan, trustee, on stage to honor? We have a few corporates whom we are thankful to. Ramball India, a special mention because they sponsored Upasana batches last year, represented by Srimati Gayatri. India Motor Parts and Accessories, Impal, represented by Shri Avinash. Forgings has also been very supportive, but their representative could not be here today. And similarly, RVR Foundation also has been with us, and neither could anyone from their company join us. Shri Madan Paramasivam, who has been magnanimous in his support from the inception of our foundation, we request Shri PVS Krishnan to kindly receive the memento on behalf of Shri Madan. Thank you, sir. Can I also have Srimati Gayatri Shankar, please? Yeah, there was a small mix-up earlier, so Madhu, can you? Thank you, ma'am. So we have a lot of other well-wishers and donors who have been very supportive. For want of time and space and energy, we can't name all of them, but sincerely thank every one of them from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you so much.
Now we request Srimati Vidya Gopalakrishnan to give the vote of thanks.
Vanakkam, namaste and good evening all. On behalf of Shraddha Maanu Foundation, I would like to extend a warm and heartfelt thanks to everyone who's made this event possible. There is no chance for welfare of the world unless the condition of women is improved. It is not possible for a bird to fly with one wing. This is a quote by Swami Vivekananda, emphasizing the critical role of women in achieving progress and development and creating a better world for all. The Upasana graduates here today represent how hard work, dedication, and determination in pursuing one's dream can help in the achievement of one's goal. You have shown us that perseverance makes anything possible. We hope that you will continue to inspire and enable other women in your community with your achievements. I would also like to extend our appreciation to the families and friends of the graduates who have supported and encouraged them throughout their journey called Upasana. I would like to express our gratitude to all the distinguished guests here, Srimati Sri Lalita Gopal, Sri C.K. Kumaravel, and Major Madan Kumar for taking time out of your busy schedule and gracing the occasion. We are truly honored. Our heartfelt thanks to our mentors, donors, head of schools, the corporate, volunteers, and everyone else who have supported us, without whom this event would not have been possible. You have made a significant impact on the lives of these women and many more, and we are truly grateful for your support. We truly appreciate the press for accepting our invitation and coming over. We hope they will ensure that our efforts will reach and benefit more women and children. Our sincere gratitude to GRT Grand Chennai for providing us with all the infrastructure and technical support for the program, Shri Jeeva and team from Yours Audiovisuals for handling the light and sound for us. We would also like to thank Srimati Shweta and Sri Sailesh from Sai Sui Photography for ensuring this moment will be photographed in our memories forever. 3 cheers to our entire team at SMF, the core team, the Upasana trainers, trainers from MYC, Vipassana teachers from our previous batches, and our extended team of teachers whose constant support and active participation has helped us train 100 women year after year. I am confident that we can accomplish our goal of enabling 500 women by 2025. My sincere thanks to all their family members for their support and presence today. Last but not the least, I would like to thank our MCs, Srimati Ranjini Prakash and Sri Shankar Raghavan, for successfully conducting the program. Once again, we thank each one of you for your invaluable contribution towards making this event a grand success. Congratulations to the graduates, and we wish you all the very best in your future endeavors. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Vidya. Request all of you to stand for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे